Hello and welcome everybody to another edition of Midweek Matters. I'm your host James Graham and Charlie is back from the motherland.
That's right. I was there, just landed this morning. So a little bit tired from the plane, but here I am, ready to talk some rugby league.
Yes, we were sending messages in the WhatsApp group. No wonder you couldn't sleep on the plane.
I know, man. Well, actually, funnily enough, I had on the plane back, I flew back to Singapore via Singapore. So the first leg's like 14 hours. And I was sitting in the chair, and then I saw a couple of people board the plane, and I was thinking, I hope those two people aren't in my row. And they were in my row. And this poor fella, he must have some sort of breathing issue or something, but he literally snored, like choking for 14 hours, sitting next to me, like everyone looking around going, what's going on here? But we got through it. The flight attendant came over and kept apologising. I sort of just gave him an elbow a few times, just to, every now and again when it got particularly bad, I'd give him a little elbow. He had his girlfriend with him though, and she did nothing. She must be used to it. She's accepted her life of living with a man who just sort of starts choking as soon as he goes to bed. But I was worried. Because Singapore's the first leg, and I assumed, I'm obviously going to be next to him again for the second leg. But then something happened, and I wasn't. It was different people next to me.
Maybe they were just going to Singapore.
No, they weren't, because they were in the gate. Because I clocked them in the gate. Because first thing I did when I got to the gate was like, are these people here? Where are they? And they were. Yeah, they were.
I don't think it's sort of like necessary that you all keep sitting together.
Yeah, but I was in the same seat for both legs, you know.
The same. It was the same plane.
Exactly. Yeah, same plane.
Oh, you just get off,
chill out for a couple of hours.
Ah, right. Okay.
And, they refuel, do a bit of cleaning.
Yeah.
But yeah, so a bit tired.
But how was the trip?
It was great fun, mate. It was good to be back in England. I hadn't been there since 2014, so saw my grandparents and did all that sort of stuff. And there was a lot of buzz around the World Cup, actually. Obviously, the Union World Cup going on. So that was quite interesting. And we had the Super League Grand Finals on while I was over there as well. So plenty of footy.
Yeah, but just on the hype around the Rugby Union World Cup, it's massive over there.
It is massive,
obviously,
yeah.
Here, it hasn't generated the hype or the buzz, probably because of
time zones.
Well, time zone, but also because of the Wallabies.
Yeah, true. But mate, it's massive. Like I was in Paris, and there's just like all these pop-up stands for it. They've got this big viewing area in the middle of town. There's just jerseys everywhere. Like you're seeing all different sorts of Irish jerseys, Welsh jerseys. Like so many different people were over there for it. You know, it kind of shows like if league can somehow tap into some of those nations like France, you know, there's such a big opportunity there to grow the international game. Maybe that's a way of competing with the other ones, because a lot of those World Cup games, like I watched the quarterfinals and stuff because it was on reasonable time. Like it's good footy, but it's not like league's a better spectacle than Union.
Absolutely. Well,
it's just got to get the exposure, doesn't it?
Yeah, it is, and like how we obviously were making moves into Las Vegas to start the season. And I think the plan is for that to continue on. But it is such a great product. But you know, rugby union, obviously, it's a global sport. You've got these entrenched nations, but look at the success of Argentina.
Yeah,
like, within our lifetime, they've gone from being a laughing stock, a bit of a Argentina rugby. Come on, they're playing semi-final of a World Cup.
Yeah, exactly. And even like if you think about with the teams that league have, like international footy's in a better space than it was for league, say a few years ago. But that's not because like international football federation, league federations come together and put things in place. It's just like, I think Shane Richardson said it in that rep football thing. It's like the Islander players chose to go play for Tonga and Samoa. So it's not by any like,
not by design. Yeah. It's not like
it's like a luck. It's just like luck. And that's probably the issue with that whole world is there's not much playing. Like French rugby league should have a gun international side. They should really heavily invest in that and maybe try and bring some French union players who are on the fringe over into league.
Yeah, I agree with you. Obviously, Toulouse played the London Broncos in the qualifying match for the Super League. London won, and they've come into Super League. London's been tried and tested before, and it's not worked. I think most people are banking on Toulouse winning that game and then generating that French derby again, bringing them into the top level. I thought that would have been good, but
Yeah.
it wasn't to be.
Because even when that Super League Grand Final was on, like I was on the BBC Sport website, and when that game was on, it's the top story on BBC Sport, like live Super League Grand Final.
Yeah.
And I think they've just signed a new rights deal as well, where every Super League game is now televised on Sky.
That's right. It's hard to believe that wasn't the case.
But then that's massive for that
is
sport
big.
over there.
It is big for Super League. They need all the help that they can get. But the international game, it is gaining momentum, but we need to capitalise on it, because when you compare it to the Rugby Union World Cup, it's nothing. And even at the stadium in Paris, there are the celebrities that it attracts.
Yeah, exactly.
You've got your Beckhams, or your top level
Mbappe's, and
they're there, because they want to be there. And what that does, it makes it look important. Where, with all due respect to the international games on the weekend, Australia against Samoa, like at Townsville Stadium, not full. It doesn't look important.
Yeah.
Same even the PNG game against the Cook Islands. That we're going to talk about their potential coming in to be the 18th team a little bit later on, but it doesn't look important because the stadium's not full.
No.
And it's something that I think league really needs to get a grasp of like, if you want to bring new eyes onto the sport, it's got to look important, especially if you're watching it on a screen.
Yeah. I think even with the American expansion as well, it's like, with the taking the games to Vegas, trying to bring the American audience in, I think a better way to bring the American audience in would be try and manufacturing the USA national team to be competitive. I don't know how you do that. You got to obviously take over many years, but if I think that's something that can bring in fans, because everyone loves getting behind their national team.
Yeah,
and if your national team is good, it's going to bring more eyeballs in.
But then again, if you look at, say, NFL, they're going into Europe. There's not really. I don't think there's a European league.
No, there's not. They're playing like a lot of games in London, Germany.
Yeah, and there's an appetite for it. Even I read an interview with one of the commissioners, and he's saying the possibility of a London franchise team, or one of the teams relocating to franchise there. Even the possibility of a European conference.
Yeah, but that might be where that goes eventually down the track.
But
you don't know.
I've got to give credit to the NRL. They are now looking to expand. Like when we were kids, we got our local sport, and that was it, or our national games. Like we didn't get much exposure to NFL, basketball, any of these games. But now, like, we're competing hard on the sporting stage for eyeballs, for everything. So
that game in Melbourne will be big. New Zealand, Australia, like at Amy Park.
Yeah,
that needs to be a sellout. If that's not a sellout,
this is the and you know what? You speak to so many fans around. Oh, I love the international game. We've got to go watch it.
Yeah,
you can't just love it and nah.
Yeah,
you've got to go and watch it if we want it to survive. It's got to look important. You've got to be there. You've got to support your country. Like it's got to be well attended. Even the England games coming up against Tonga in the coming weeks. Like, I hope the English fans get to it and pack out the 3 stadiums, because if they don't, it's gonna, if you're a casual fan, you see the Rugby Union World Cup, England are playing in a semi-final, it's going to be packed out versus England v Tonga. If they can't fill Totally Wicked Stadium on Sunday,
it's going to be disappointing.
It's going to it just doesn't look. No. And that's it. I say this all the time. It's got to look important.
Yeah, because even if those crowds for the Union game are all like mental, insane crowds, and the fans are going crazy the whole time, they're singing. They're like kind of more like soccer crowds because of the European, nature of it all. But it's interesting times. It is. I hope you've got the Rockbusters this week. Oh. Although I'm a bit disappointed because, first of all, you were 25 minutes late.
Yeah, I got caught
which is
traffic.
Sorry. Traffic, 25 minutes of traffic. That's just poor planning.
Yeah,
that's where traffic no longer becomes an excuse. But also, you've come in here, normally you're meant to have 2 Rockbusters, one for listeners, one for me. And you've just told me just before we started calling, you've only got 1 Rockbuster.
Yeah.
Which is pretty disappointing, to be honest.
Sorry, mate. I'm sorry.
Well,
but it is a good one. So what we're going to do is I'm going to say it. if you can get it, we'll beep it out.
Okay.
Because this is for you, the listeners, because I care more about you, the listeners, than I do about you, Charlie.
And we'll do a buy around t-shirt up for grabs for whoever gets it,
Yeah, no, but they didn't. They know that.
They know that. Yeah, we've got Tui's hats as well to give away.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm
Tui's
both.
socks.
No,
Well,
no, you know.
I might have nicked the last pair.
Yeah. Okay. The Jamaican biology teacher is explaining male genitalia.
I know it.
Go on then.
Jermaine Hopgood.
No.
No. Okay. I was thinking Jermaine Hop. Penises are good. That was my initial
No.
guess.
No.
Well, can I get the clue again? Sorry, I got a bit carried away.
The Jamaican biology teacher is explaining the male genitalia. So this is very much in the Carl Pilkington style of how these Jamaican people may sound.
Rastaman.
So if you think about, like, if you're, so sound it out. You're
Rastaman.
Pardon?
Rastaman.
Rastaman? What?
That's like a Jamaican thing. They say Rastaman.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
But if you're the Jamaican biology teacher, you've got a Jamaican accent and you're pointing to the male genitalia, what would you say?
Ooh, man, look at this thing. I don't know.
What would you call it?
A penis, man. Oh, Will Penasini?
No.
Penis, man. I don't know. Do we need to beep that guess or no?
No.
That's a good work.
That's not, well,
Jeez, that's a tough one to start off with.
and Matt, but I'm in true Carl Pilkington style.
Yeah. Well, I don't think anyone's going to get that.
Well, I guess we'll see. Anyway, let's kick off with some of the news.
There's actually a fair bit going on.
There is a fair bit.
Because I haven't been paying attention at all, and I got here. So I got back to Sydney this morning. I sort of Googled, and there's like a fair bit going on.
Yeah, there is. Jerome Luai signs with a new management. That's
the Rose Brothers.
Yeah.
Black Money Enterprise, it's called.
Yeah, it seems strange that he's gone to a management company now.
Yeah, I think he probably just wanted to get out of his other deal that he had. But
I thought he was doing it on his own.
but I think maybe he just. I think he said that or something. I don't know.
Well, anyway,
the Rose Brothers, they're starting to really make some noise in that world, aren't they? They got Latrell Mitchell, Cody Walker, just name a couple of them.
Yeah.
Jerome Luai's big signing for them, and he's obviously the
Massive
Panthers have said
signing.
they can give him max 800, which is not what he'll get if he hits the open market. If he hits the open market, he will make over $1 million a year.
Absolutely.
And there's a handful of clubs that could go in for him, but I mean, where do you think he could end up, or maybe where he should end up?
I think there'll be a fair few teams making plays for him. Two of my old teams, the Bulldogs and the Dragons.
Particularly now the Dragons giving him Amone's in a bit of hot water.
Well, not just that. Like Ben Hunt will be leaving.
Yeah.
How long has he got left? Got this year?
End of 2025.
Yeah, but I think if they could secure Luai, they'd
let him go.
They'd let him
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
Whether someone would then take him if the situation changes. But I think they're definitely in the market for a half. The Bulldogs. I think most clubs would be looking and assessing and seeing.
Even the Sydney Roosters, Luke Keary's obviously he's off contract as well. He's a November 1 guy, same as Jerome Luai. So, I mean, if they could, I could see him playing for Sydney Roosters. They are the kind of club that will sort of come in these moments like this out of nowhere and snatch him.
Yeah.
And I think Luke Keary's on just under $1 million, so they probably have a salary cap to make it work.
Yeah. I think most clubs that I'm trying to think of any that other than the ones that have got settled 6s and 7s. I think the big sell for Luai would be come and run this team and play him as a 7. Pay him and play him as a 7.
Well, say it's a 4-year deal. It's over $1 million extra per year. He's going to be over $1 million over that 4-year contract that he'll make. And he's already won 3 premierships.
And as well, this is the opportunity for him to cement his own legacy. Like, yes, he's come through there. He's played with Nathan since teenager, but this could be like, here's your opportunity to run the ship.
I think he'd probably thrive in a role like that as well, given the competitor that he is.
And very, like, he oozes confidence.
Yeah. Because he will never get the respect of a Nathan Cleary sort of level player playing alongside Nathan Cleary. Because even that premiership that they just won, he went off, Cogger came on, and the Panthers improved. And that sort of is the narrative.
Yeah.
You know? Panthers can win without Luai.
Yeah.
So if he then goes somewhere else and wins without Nathan Cleary and without that Panther system, that would be massive for his legacy.
Absolutely, it would, yeah. Yeah, I think that's the... Rather than the money angle, that's the angle to sort of try and turn its head. But it's still a decent wage to stay at Penrith and
win a few more premierships.
Build a dynasty. Like they'll be aiming for St. George's. Sort of, that's what they'll be aiming for. Like the talk after it wasn't like it was like, well, we're just getting started.
Yeah, and it's not like they were gassed. Although I don't know, I reckon I think it's going to be hard for Panthers to win 4 in a row next year.
Of course, but we said this after the first one.
Yeah,
we said this after the second one. Yeah, they're losing players, but there's plenty of other teams that are going to be in the fight. But then we all know the stars have got to align. And Penrith are still a young team. They're a hungry team. Like no one had them winning. Well, sorry, I shouldn't say that. But a lot of people were doubting them. But and they've shown now when the chips are down, like they're still there.
I wonder if because guys like Stephen Crichton have left, Spencer Leniu, guys who Jerome Luai is really close with, some of his best mates from the team have left. I wonder if he'll consider leaving, or if he'll look at someone like Api Coruscant, who's now playing at the West Tigers and has gone from premiers to wooden spoon.
Yeah.
Like, yes, a little bit more money is great, for, but winning can make life a lot happier.
Yeah, I know what you mean. That is an assessment. Sorry, Charlie, you just squeezing that paper. It was squeaking. It was doing my head in. I've missed you. Yeah, you're right. He will look at that, but then a guy like Leniu or Crichton might go and be really successful. So
yeah, it's interesting. On the other side, Panthers, they've got their 5-8 for next year, but Dragons, we don't really know exactly what's happening at the moment, but we know that Junior Amone's been found guilty in court of assaulting a person with a hammer. The sentence is in 6 weeks' time, and he could be facing jail time. Yeah,
I think I listened to the lawyer's comments after that. I think they are going to appeal this. But like that's the law side of it.
Yeah.
So there is potential for jail time.
Yeah.
But let's look at the football side of it. That the legality stuff is we probably shouldn't comment about that. But
no, the only thing on the legal thing is because he was initially started the part of the no fault stand down policy. I wonder if now, because he's found guilty, even if he does appeal, the NRL might bring back the no fault stand down policy.
Well,
potentially,
if he doesn't.
If he appeals, for example, and then they're like, "Oh, well, this is going to be another year process."
But it's It was a 7-year maximum jail time, and the no fault stand down policy is the crimes.
But then NRL has leeway, where they can bring it in if they deem it to be. Like Josh Reynolds, he was facing under the punishment, but then he was still. They have that caveat where they can just stand someone down if they feel they need to.
Yeah. Yeah. Look. This isn't great. The only way that they, from a footballing perspective, and from a law perspective, if they appeal and get found not guilty, otherwise he's going to be looking at a lengthy time away from the game. That's just
unfortunate for him as well, because he's such a fantastic young player,
such a good player.
But what
and look. We go into bat for these people based off what I know. He's a good lad. Like I had a fair bit to do with him when I was down there at the Dragons, and we'll
see what happens in that side of things. But
Shane Flanagan,
and
the power brokers at the Dragons now just sort of you going, why did we let Sullivan go? Still under contract.
Yeah. I mean, you can't see these things coming though. In their defence, it's like
they knew he was
facing.
They knew he was facing criminal
criminal
charges, so they could have foreseen this.
Yeah.
They could have foreseen this.
They've got Kyle Flanagan who's come over, obviously.
But again, on the Sullivan thing, wait until the court date.
Yeah, to let him go.
And say, look, we're going to stand by Junior, but we're not going to just let you swan off to the Tigers for November 1. Well, even that, we're not even in November. They could have kept him.
Yeah.
I don't even think they'd still be paying his wage.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, until November 1. Yeah. It's a strange one. I mean,
like Flanagan, the Dragons are gonna need all his coaching experience to get them through this. And what good coaches do is drive a narrative, and this could be the narrative that they're looking for. Also, it does appear now that Kyle will be starting in the halves.
Yep.
Unless they move Jack Baird into the 5'8" position, which again that could help. We've seen how Billy Walters has gone from strength to strength under his father, especially at the back end of the season. So they're going to need Kyle to really step up, and more of it is on Shane, how he drives the narrative at that club and what they want to be about, and be hard enough for Kyle, but then your halves partner is someone that it's no secret he doesn't want to be there.
Yeah. The thing with Kyle Flanagan is he sort of burst onto the scene at such a young age and had so much talent. It feels, watching his career, is almost as though he has lost a bit of confidence.
100%.
And I was watching the Peter Kraut documentary, funnily enough, on the plane over here, and he had this sort of period when he was during his career where he sort of came on at Portsmouth under Harry Redknapp.
Pompey.
And was going really good. Then he got sold and bounced around a couple of clubs and struggled. And then he went back to Harry Redknapp and at Southampton, and then had resurrected his career and ended up at Liverpool, where Kyle Flanagan's obviously got the talent.
And he's
so young.
Yeah, he's like 22?
I'll just check that. I reckon
23.
He's early 20s. But he's still so young. So he is 25 years old.
Yeah.
But that's still so young for a half as well. For a half,
is.
that's so young.
And he does need he needs a bit of confidence.
Yeah, and his dad could be the guy to give him that confidence.
Well, that's where you see it working, right?
Yeah, and they've signed him on a small contract, and now he might have to play the whole season for them. Could be a masterstroke, that signing, because it was criticised.
Yeah, look, like I say, Shane Flanagan is going to need all the coaching experience that he's got. Like, he's been desperate to get back into coaching. That's, you speak to him, he just loves it. Like, he can't wait. But this job seems to be getting increasingly more difficult for him. But I think he's going to relish it. Going to relish the challenge. But, geez, from the outside looking in, geez, it's a tough job. It's a tough ask.
Favourites for the wooden spoon on Ladbrokes as well.
And the pens will be sharpened, the knives will be ready to go. I just hope he's given the time, because he's going to need it.
Yeah, I mean, I think they've got no choice but to give him the time. The Dragons have lacked so much patience in all their decisions, and even this Amone thing shows a lack of patience by letting Sullivan go rather than just letting it play the course of action.
And in Flanagan's favour, given these circumstances, the fans may give him some leeway, which is obviously he's probably going to need it.
Yeah.
So
he's an excellent coach, and I think it will work out for the Dragons in the long run. But I think they've probably still got a couple of years of hurt before they can start, competing for finals and all that sort of stuff again. I can't believe we're talking about this, but the 18th team, Michelle Bishop, who's a very well-respected NRL journalist, has come out on SEN and said that PNG are going to be the 18th team. That was a one-horse race, and they're going to be joining the NRL in 2025, and it's not far off being made official. This is bizarre. How on earth is this going to work, having a team? I know they're going to be based out of Cairns, but they're going to represent PNG, be based out of Cairns. Maybe they play like 3 or 4 games in PNG a year. Like, it's just...
Well, it's most likely government money. There's a couple of angles I think that'll be coming out of this. It'll be government money, so it'll be financially stable, and then proper pathway systems. Like, that's going to be the promise, because
how are they going to build those systems? They're not going to be able to build them really in PNG. It's like a...
But they're going to plan to, Charlie, because I think at the minute... Remember we spoke to Shane Richardson about like the number of guys that are actually born in Papua New Guinea.
Yeah, it's not many
that end up playing in the NRL. It's not many.
Yeah,
but there is clearly a pool of players, of athletes there that could, given the right guidance, could make it in the NRL. So I think that would be the angle that they're looking at. It's millions of people that love their footy, but what to be fair, one of the concerns that the crowd against the Cook Islands wasn't the biggest.
No, there's no corporate dollar over there as well.
No, but they're not going to need corporate dollar because they've got government funding.
But what happened? This is the Labor government's well and truly behind it. What if a Liberal government gets elected next election? Goes PNG, we're not really as interested as the Labor government. This football club we don't really care about.
Yeah, I guess.
Because governments chop and change, and their focus has changed as well.
Yeah, they
I think
do.
to rely on the government,
all the stadium stuff speaks for itself.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know, Charlie, but I think you could put some pathways in there that would bear the fruits.
You'd almost need like camps, like where the players leave their communities and go and live, or the players who want to become NRL players leave their communities and go and live. Because the infrastructure in a lot of these places in Papua New Guinea it's hard to imagine for us living in Australia.
Yeah, well, I've been over there, and they would need some heavy investment in terms of getting up those areas to become like the talent ID, bring them through. There is potential there, but if they're based out of Cairns and they're only playing 3 games a week, maybe your argument about the corporate dollar is that the corporate dollar comes from Cairns.
But then who are they? If you are like a company based in Cairns, which there was not a heap of corporate dollar in Cairns either.
No.
But like, even if you were to, why would a Cairns company want to get behind the PNG team? I just think it lacks identity. Like, it's hard enough with the West Tigers being based in Campbelltown and Balmain, and then you're going to throw a team and that's going to be based in Papua New Guinea, but also be based in Cairns and play a few games here, a few games there. And then what players are going to want to go and play a handful of games each year in PNG?
But then, well...
and it's the National Rugby League, and now we're going to have 2 international sides in there. No Perth team, no Adelaide team.
Yeah. Well, obviously after speaking with Shane Richardson, that the Firehawks makes sense.
100%.
But I don't know. Well, I guess it's a bit of a wait and see. But
it's a strange one. I mean, and it's 2025, so it's not much time for this to get sorted.
Is that what
that's the
start in 2025?
So so not next year, the year after. So if it gets confirmed,
that is not a lot of time at all, is it?
Yeah. So if it gets confirmed,
jeez, wow.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like lots of journalists are reporting this. Well, it's just one journalist, so the mail might not be 100% correct at the time of recording. There's nothing confirmed yet, but.
Yeah. Anyway, I guess we'll see. 5-minute Simbin being considered. What do you reckon of that?
Don't know. What do you think? I think I worked with MG for years at Triple M, and he always wanted the 5-minute Simbin. I think it's a nice way of of punishing players for smaller infringements that maybe don't warrant the full 10 minutes. But I mean, for me, I don't really think there's much wrong with a 10-minute Simbin.
No, me either. And you know what? I think we'll see more infringements because the consequence is less. Like 5 minutes can go pretty quick.
Yeah,
it's probably 2 sets with the ball, 2 sets without. yeah, I don't know if it's enough. I think we'll see, especially if they're going to scrap the 10 minutes in and just bring in the 5. I think we'll just see more and more players. The goal line defense will just be a joke.
Yeah.
If you're getting sent to the sin bin for 5 minutes, and you're for that consistent slowing of the play, the ball, too many 6 agains. If that's a 5-minute penalty, we're just going to see it all. But see, coaches will instruct. I'll let you get away with being sent for 5, as opposed to being sent for 10.
Yeah, it's a fight. So, I wonder if they would have both 5 minutes sin bin for certain things, and then 10 minutes for still at professional fouls and things like that.
Yeah.
I don't know, but then it gets a bit confusing and messy, to be honest.
Well, that's it.
I'm quite happy with the 10 minutes.
It over confuses it for the audience. It's like, well, hang on. Is that a 5? Is it a 10?
Do you know what I reckon this is? An off-season storyline that won't happen.
That
won't happen.
I think you're onto something there.
Yeah.
But one thing that will be happening or likely be happening is Maguire coming in to coach New South Wales. 1-year deal, though.
Yeah.
I don't get that.
I do worry about this.
Why?
I just think Maguire, if it doesn't go well, the media comes for him so hard. And Queensland are in this golden window with Billy Slater and with so many great players thriving. I don't know. I have a feeling it could go a little bit like how Paul Green's series went for Queensland, where the media were just so at him, so against him. And like, I feel like, I just don't know if this is going to go well for New South Wales. And I mean, Maguire is a fantastic coach. He's done incredible things with the South Sydney back in the day. With New Zealand, he's doing a great job. They're in one of the best positions they've ever been in New Zealand, you could argue. But I don't know. I just don't know.
I don't know if he has to leave the Raiders assistant job.
I don't see why he would have to leave the Raiders job. But I've read that he likely will leave the Raiders job. But that's a weird one.
And could he do New Zealand as well? That I reckon. See, again, this would be where that media game is like, oh, he's not focused.
Yeah, but I think that's stupid.
Yeah, I know it is, but
bullshit.
it's part of the dance, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. But I think that's nonsense as well, because like I saw they're talking about the conflict of interest of like him maybe recruiting players to play for New South Wales instead of New Zealand. I mean, I'll tell you what.
But you can't.
Yeah, no, I know. But a player is going to do what they want to do. They're not going to listen to Madge and go, oh, actually, no, I don't want to represent New Zealand anymore. I want to represent New South Wales now. It's like, it's stupid.
Yeah.
You know? So, because I mean, a player who maybe came here within the age bracket, but then is still eligible for New Zealand as well, they're going to do what they want to do. And honestly, they're not going to be swayed by what Madge says. So that's not true. The only conflict would be if the games are on at similar times. Like if they had a
mid-season test. Yeah. I think Maguire, if he can keep the Raiders job, I reckon he'd likely leave New Zealand.
Yep.
And take on this Origin gig, but then if it's only a year, it's like, it's a big gamble.
Big gamble for him, because if it doesn't go well, because he is probably a coach that is likely to get another NRL job. If one comes up this year, he'd be one of the first coaches in line. Do you risk that for a year at the Blues when the Blues are in a weird spot at the moment?
But obviously coaches are wired up a little bit differently. He'll be like, I'll win. I'll go and win this series. And then that will springboard. He'd be maybe looking at this and going, New South Wales chips are down. They're not that far away. I could use this to springboard my coaching career or reignite
1 year in New South Wales, win, and then maybe go to Melbourne the year after. Yeah. It's funny because...
But that's how... coaches think they're not looking at it going like, ooh, they're going, I'll go in there, we'll win.
Yeah,
I'll get this team to win. Which if they do, then everybody forgets about the West Tigers. What happens there? Everyone goes, Premiership winner at South, Premiership winner at Wigan, and he won an Origin season series when.
Against Billy Slater and this massive Queensland team.
This new breed of Queensland. It's like, how good's that? And like I say, New South Wales are not that far away.
No, I mean, they've got some of the best players in the game. They've got Nathan Cleary, they've got Latrell Mitchell, James Tedesco. You know, the list goes on and on. Payne Haas. New South Wales team's really good.
Yeah, it is. And they were a couple of pass away.
Yeah. I mean, if Latrell played that series, they probably win. the New South Wales.
Yeah. We're going to take a quick break from this podcast to talk to you about AG1. Now, this is a foundational nutritional supplement that I take every single day. There's a lot of stress, a lot of noise around there. Nobody knows what exact supplements to take. A whole cocktail sometimes. That's what it feels like you need to. But AG1, Charlie, take care of it all.
That's the thing that I love the most. I've cleared out my cupboard. I've now just got AG1 packets on the shelves, and I love it. I have it every day, nice glass of cold water, and it's really helped me with my gut health. You know, that's something that I've sort of struggled with over the years, and so it's really improved me, that side of things. I feel like I've got a lot more energy, and I know it's been really beneficial for you as well, Jimmy.
Any athlete knows the benefit of micro habits, and this is one of those. You just get a small glass of nice cold water, 1 scoop of AG1. It seems like nothing, but over time, the effects build up, and you will feel the benefit, just like I did. My gut health was all over the place, and this is the best way to start. I started taking AG1. It's got all the key ingredients that you need, the vitamin C, the probiotics, the prebiotics, the zinc, everything that you think you need. The team at AG1 have formulated this supplement to take the stress out of it. All you need to do, the micro habit, every single day, and you will get the results later down the track. And as well, the best thing about it is, Charlie, tastes great too.
You're exactly right, Jimmy. It tastes delicious. And AG1 is a foundational nutrition supplement that supports your body's universal needs like gut optimization, stress management, and immune support. And since 2010, AG1 has led the future of foundational nutrition, continuously refining their formula to create a smarter, better way to elevate your baseline health.
AG1 is a supplement I trust to provide the support my body needs on a daily basis, and that's why they've been a partner for so long. If you want to take ownership of your health, it starts with AG1. We've got an exclusive offer for Buy Round listeners. So if you want to try AG1, you get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3K2 and 5 free AG1 travel packs, which really do come in handy. You get those with your first purchase. Go to drinkag1.com/buy round. That's drinkag1.com/buy round. Check it out. You will not be disappointed. I trust AG1. This is a product that I use each and every single day for around the last 18 months.
Well, speaking of New Zealand, they are obviously playing this weekend in this sort of Pacific, what do they call it? Pacific Cup? Is that what they call this?
So, yeah.
They've taken on Samoa. You got Fiji against the Cook Islands, and not part of the Pacific Cup. Your boys, England, are going up against Tonga in the first test of that series.
Yeah, some really good games on the cards here. New Zealand against Samoa. That should be a great game. Samoa looked pretty good against the Aussies.
Yeah.
Almost one of the greatest tries that never was with Farlongo, the chip over Tedesco.
He's going to be a star, isn't he?
Oh, mate, he is electric.
The Melbourne Storm, they are just incredible. And I think they've locked him up as well. I read somewhere that he's doubled his salary after that game and they've locked him in.
Yeah.
So they just got to think where they're going to play him. I mean, I think he can play fullback, and then I wonder, I really think the Melbourne Storm should try and move Pappenhausen on and try, because I still reckon you're at that point where you could get him to another club, or you could get him to the Dragons, take a punt on him. You could get the Tigers to take a punt on him.
He's still a good player, though, man.
Yeah.
It's a big call. Farlongo's only played 40 minutes.
Yeah, I know, but he looks like a star, and just Pappenhausen, I just don't know if you can trust the body.
Well, there's one thing to predict injuries. Former injuries are the greatest predictor of future injuries.
Yeah. And they've been freak injuries like fractured kneecap, fractured ankle.
But I think Melbourne have put a lot into Pappenhausen. I think they're gonna see that through.
Yeah, and he should be back for the start of the year as well.
But Farlongo, what a player.
And the great thing for Farlongo, sorry to interrupt you, is Billy Slater's obviously there. So Billy Slater's going to be teaching these young kids. He comes in there with Melbourne Storm, works with the fullbacks.
Yeah. Oh, what a great mentor for him. Fiji, Cook Islands, that should be a decent game. England v Tonga. Looking forward to that.
Where are England at, do you reckon, at the moment? It's because I looked at their squad and there's some good players there. You got, Radley's playing for them, Elliot Whitehead, and then some good sort of Super League players as well.
Yeah. Look, they're in a good spot. There's George Williams he's had his suspension upheld for the first 2 games. They're going to miss him. Wellesby the halves or fullback, he's vital for them, and he's one hell of a player, Jack Welsby. He needs to dominate this series if England are to win.
Do you reckon who are the favourites? I might just check that on Ladbrokes quickly, because I mean, it feels like England, New Zealand, and Australia are obviously the two big dogs at the moment, and then I reckon you'd probably have Samoa over England. Do you reckon at the moment if they? I mean, Luai's not playing at the moment, but if they were fully fit,
I don't know. It's pretty close. Like if you think back to the World Cup, yeah, Samoa beat them in the semi, but England annihilated them in round one of the World Cup.
So England are $1.30 for this game, $1.36 on Ladbrokes.
Yeah.
So big favourites.
Big favourites.
Because Tonga aren't as good as they were either, are they? They've dropped off a little bit.
Mate, they're still strong on paper.
Yeah,
like
four-pack's
the
insane.
four-pack is just immense. And Katoa had another year. Like, he's the half who's going to direct them around. Like, he's had another year in NRL. He's only going to get better. So it's a tough ask for England. I'm genuinely a little bit worried and also excited because I think it'd be a great game. But I wouldn't agree with those Ladbrokes odds.
So maybe get on Tonga, $2.90.
I wouldn't do that, but I mean, but I don't like those odds. All right, anyway, let's go on to fans' feelings.
Fan feelings.
Nothing more than
How do you feel?
Oh, it's good to hear that Tui's jingle again. I've missed that.
It does stay with you.
It does, doesn't
Every
it?
time I see the advertising boards, how do you feel?
Yeah, it's so sick.
I was driving the other day and I was like, Simon was like singing it to myself.
It's funny. I don't know if I should say this or not, but it was funny. One of our listeners sent us a video of their kids singing the jingle who listens to the podcast. So
that's all right. It's just a jingle.
It's just it's very catchy. Very catchy.
catchy.
Stays in my head, that's for sure. All right, Jimmy, questions. No cheese this week, so I'll ask you the questions. But first one is on Instagram from Shubi Wan. And he wants to know, what do you think the current Doggies squad is missing that it had in your era of playing?
Look, what the current Doggies squad is missing. A few things. They need strong middle forwards. You know, that was sort of one of the hallmarks from when we were there. And that doesn't necessarily mean that's the only way to play, but we were very strong in the middle.
Who have they got there for next year? Because they've lost Luke Thompson.
Yeah, Luke Thompson's gone.
Pango Jr.
Jr.'s
retired.
Yeah. So they are a little bit light in the middle. And
do you know if they've got some young players coming through in those positions?
There are a couple, but they may be a year or two away. So I think they'd likely be active in the market if there's any late moves. I think they'd look to get a couple of middle forwards.
So what you're saying is maybe you come out of retirement, Willie Mason, because Willie Mason, he sort of ruined the Doggy season by injuring Luke Thompson, didn't he, at training? Mate, so he's obviously still got it, though.
I honestly could not think of much worse to be thrown into an NRL game right now.
Yeah. What if you were thrown in at the peak of your powers?
Oh, mate, if anyone's got access to a time machine, I mean,
you're in your home straight in.
Absolutely no question. As much as I love doing the buy around, Charlie, get me in the time machine. But actually now, I genuinely don't reckon I'd last a set.
Out of interest,
one set of 6 in defense, and I reckon I'd be putting my hand up, going, my groin's gone, my hips gone.
Yeah. Out of interest, would you go back in time if it meant things would change and your career wasn't guaranteed? So you get to go back to the peak of your powers.
And prove myself all over.
Yeah, prove yourself all over.
Yes. Roll that dice again.
Roll that dice, yeah.
Oh, mate, 100%.
But what if you could get a severe injury?
That's fine.
And then the buy round doesn't exist because you were sort of an irrelevant footballer. And then I could be sitting here with maybe Aaron Woods. It could be the buy round with Aaron Woods.
Oh, we wouldn't wish that upon anybody, would we? Wow. I often think about parallel universes and what may or may happen. No, I mean,
there might be 1,000 versions of your career.
And maybe there's an infinite number.
There could be, yeah.
Maybe there's an infinite number of buy rounds, an infinite number of different buy round guests, different buy round.
Producers.
We're going off on a very weird tangent. But in answer to your question, Yes, I'd love to go back to the peak of my
Okay,
powers.
yep. Next question, another Bulldogs focus one. Jakob Gillis wants to know, do you think Stephen Crichton should play centre at the Dogs to help strengthen the edge defence?
Look, I think personally, based off what I've seen, Crichton needs the ball in his hands as much as possible, and that position would be fullback.
Fullback?
Yeah, and this is, there's no coaching insight. There's no insight there about where he will be playing. It's just, I am being one of those fans where I go, you know what I'd do? I'd play him in the bloody fullback position.
Yeah.
It's like that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, their back's looking strong. If Stephen Crichton's playing fullback, you obviously got Josh Adokar and Jake Carraz on the wings. That's amazing. And I think Bronson Cherry, I've just got a feeling he's going to go really well. He's been out of the game for a couple of years, but he's still so young and he looks so fit.
Yeah, I like the acquisition of Bronson Cherry, but for me, Crichton, I think you need him at fullback, and that's easy to say. It's hard to do. Big change going from centre where the involvement isn't as high. Obviously, Stephen Crichton plays at a very high level. Probably underestimate how important his try was in that grand final, by the way. But yeah, I'd have him at fullback. In just personal opinion.
That try was big in the grand final, but also he had got that repeat set in the grand final as well. He had some massive players. And he also, in the South grand final, has got the intercept try. He's just a great player, Stephen Crichton. And I hope he goes well at the Dogs. All right, final question then from Boozy. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. Does pineapple belong on pizza?
I'm gonna look. No. Can I be honest? Not the biggest pizza fan in the world.
Not a fan of pizza.
Look, it's all right.
It's probably one of the best foods in the world, pizza.
But mate,
are you not sure? I reckon you haven't worked out what flavour pizza you like yet.
No. Mate,
you like that little kid on the menu, like, do I get the margarita, meat lovers?
I will eat it till the cows come home.
Yeah.
But it is basically glorified cheese on toast.
That's a bit cool.
It is.
It's a bit cool.
Bread.
Yeah. I mean, you can say that about all food.
Yeah, I know. Don't even get me started on sushi. Don't even get me started.
Great. I love sushi.
Man, there's a bloke in Japan just going, hey, how are we going to get rid of all this rice? Roll it up with a bit of seaweed.
Small bit of protein.
Bit of cucumber. Tastes a bit dry though, doesn't it? Little soy sauce in a fish. Throw that in. The Westerners will love it. You go, they love it. Do you want to get a different filling? Yeah. Well, get some fish in there. Should we cook it? No. No. Don't cook it. Just fucking throw it in.
You know those the little on the fish, the bottom part? That's used for spreading the wasabi. But you didn't know that, did you?
No, I didn't.
No one uses that part. That's what it was.
You know why?
for.
Because I don't really buy sushi all that often.
Yeah.
Because I think it's a con.
It is a small amount of meat. Like the bang for buck meat wise is not very high. Like if you get a chicken teriyaki chicken roll, mostly rice.
And plain white rice. Just have
I love sushi, to be honest.
but
I go to a sushi tray, I'll have like 15 plates and I'll fucking gorge myself out. It's amazing.
Look, I'll eat it if it's... You know the best thing about sushi? Convenience. It is convenient. It's portable. It's not too messy. But it's a con. I think people pretend to like it.
Oh, I disagree. It's nice. It's like salty. You get the flavour. Whatever you get, what you like.
Well,
do you like avocado and chicken?
Yeah, but not with rice.
I love it with rice. Do you like a burrito bowl? It's just chicken, avocado, and rice.
Yeah, but there's a bit of sauce, bit of flavour.
Yeah, but there's a bit of soy sauce and there's a bit of wasabi.
A bit of soy sauce and wasabi.
I know why you don't like sushi, because you don't actually put wasabi on your sushi. I've noticed that. I've noticed that you don't use wasabi. And wasabi's a key part of it, because you are like, you've got the taste buds, I would say, of a 10-year-old child. Don't like pizza.
Dare. Charlie,
you like to keep basics. You keep it basic.
Cut this out. No, you are wrong.
What do you get if you're getting a sandwich? Is it you just get a chicken sandwich, don't you?
Depends.
I don't know. What does it depend? I've never seen you have like a beef sandwich or I think you sort of go for your chicken sandwich. We go to the places we go around here. You get the same thing every single time. You're a man of routine.
Absolutely.
You go to a place, you try one thing on the menu, and you're like, I like that. You're like a 10-year-old kid who goes to, the Thai joint and just gets fried rice.
Charlie, no.
And pizza. Look,
pizza. It's, you know what?
Every pizza's different though, depending on what you put in it.
It's not. Well, you know what the thing with pizza, high calories for a takeout food.
Yeah, it is,
So
yeah.
it's a lot of high calories.
Yeah.
I need more than one to fill me up. So there's that to consider. And then some of, like, obviously people, you've not been to this pizza place and the hand stretched out and all that jazz. I get it. I will eat it till the cows come home. But is it worth the cost with all the calories that you get in the pizza? And it is a little bit just like cheese on toast.
Yeah. Do you like Indian food?
It's okay.
That must have so many calories.
Yeah,
in Indian food. Because
Thai-
whenever I eat Indian
Yeah.
food, I just feel rough as guts
Yeah.
after it.
Thai would be the probably the go-to.
Yeah.
But yeah, the piazza, it's great. I'll eat it.
Piazza.
I'll eat it all day long.
What about pasta? You like pasta?
Yeah. I do.
Good.
But we can have we'll talk more about the sushi next time. But back to the original question: does pineapple belong on glorified cheese on toast? No, it doesn't.
I quite like it when you get the stadium pizzas. Just a little bit of fruit makes you feel a bit better about what you're eating, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I quite like I like pineapple on a burger. I like mine on pizza.
Oh, pineapple on a burger is again a joke. Beetroot on the burger, like
I
the
love
Aussie-
beetroot on a burger. Beetroot on a burger is great.
Beetroot on a like a turkey bacon sandwich, primo.
Yeah.
Is that the sandwich I have?
Turkey, like you're having turkey bacon?
Turkey
or like
bacon.
turkey and bacon?
Turkey and bacon.
Okay,
on a sandwich.
Yeah. Interesting.
A bit of beetroot.
Is that what you get from the local sandwich shop when you go there and just order the same thing? every
No,
single
there's a
time?
place somewhere in Surrey Hills that does a great turkey bacon with
Yeah.
beetroot. And
You
lettuce.
get your almond milk latte on the side of that, don't you, from the cafe? You changed.
Yes, I do.
Oh, Rockbusters, we can't give the result because there's only one.
So this week's Rockbusters, the Jamaican biology teacher is labelling the man's genitalia.
That just changed everything because you've just changed the clue on us, haven't you?
And yeah, you brought up off the air, Charlie, about it. It's not anything against Jamaican people. It's just putting on an accent.
No, of course.
People mimic my accent all the time.
Yeah, that's true. Also,
Winger.
I've just Gordon Tallis loves to do that. I've just received a text message on the PNG thing.
Oh, yeah?
Because I asked Brent Reed about the PNG stuff as well, and he reckons that they will go to 19 teams. So not only bring in PNG, but then bring in another one. And he said obviously there's a big push for PNG because the government money, it's a big chance.
Oh, much of space. To wrap it up, before we say goodbye, Gareth Widdop, really good friend of mine, has announced his retirement. It was a pleasure to play with Gaz. We first come across each other in the England camp, and we had some great times together, some great memories. And then I got to play with him at the Dragons as well. What a player, and all the very best in retirement. I think he's coming over here to Australia in a couple of weeks' time. And yeah, we look forward to catch up and have a few cold twoies with him.
That was such a good era of England's team, wasn't it? You, Sam Burgess, Gareth Widdop, Josh Hodgson, just to name a few. And they're all just the Aussies. He obviously had a lot of great players who were playing over in England at that time as well. He might go down as sort of one of England's greatest ever halves.
Yeah, no, he certainly will, and he lit up the stage over here.
He would have premiership with the Storm.
With the Storms.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's unfortunate, but all good things must come to an end, Charlie.
I wonder if he'd get back in the time machine with you and him together.
Oh, yeah, he'd be in there.
He'd be there.
All good. All right. Well, that concludes a great episode of Midweek Matters. It's great to have you back, Charlie.
Can I just say before we go, the episode this week is incredible for the interview. Todd Carney.
Oh, yes.
I actually think it's one of the best ones we've done. He's so well spoken.
Amazing.
And he's
Amazing.
He's obviously gone through some tough times as well. And he's really honest and open about all that sort of stuff. So it's definitely one that I think is worth checking out because he hasn't spoken like this before.
Yeah, it was top quality.
It was. Thanks very much, Todd, as well for coming in.
Yeah. All right. We'll catch everyone next week.